In this video, I want to go through the 4 most commonly mixed up terms in Chapter 2, which are physical and chemical properties and physical and chemical changes. They're all very similar in their terminology and their definitions. First, let's start with physical properties. A physical property is just an inherent characteristic of a substance. And this characteristic will not change even if you broke up that substance. Some examples of physical properties include color, density, hardness, odor, boiling point, and melting point. So the color means it's going to be the same. Even if you broke something up into 100 pieces, it should still have that same color because it's inherent to that thing. Again, that's a physical property. A chemical property is the ability to form new substances. Anything with the word chemical in it usually implies new substances. And so, again, chemical property is the ability to form new substances. The third definition is physical change. Both physical and chemical changes do deal with changes, obviously, given their terms. A physical change is where the composition of a substance is not affected. So you don't affect what the substance is made out of with a physical change. Some terms that will help you with physical changes are anything dealing with phase changes. If you don't know what phase changes are, phases are solids, liquids, and gases. So a phase change is going from a solid to a liquid or a liquid to a gas. So some examples of phase changes might be words like melt, evaporate. If you ever see these words, this is a physical change. Another word that usually denotes a physical change is the word dissolve, such as sugar dissolving in water is a physical change, not a chemical one. Okay, the last term on the sheet is then chemical change. A chemical change is when a new substance is actually formed. Remember, anything with chemical had to do with new substances. Chemical property was the ability to form new substances, but a chemical change is when you've actually formed a new substance. And there are a lot of words that will help us determine chemical changes. These words include burn, react or reaction, cook, bake, rust, rot, sour, as in milk souring. The reason milk sours is because you make a new substance in the milk that tastes different than the milk itself, which is why when milk sours, that's a chemical change. And 2 last words are digest, as in your tummy is digesting food, that's a chemical process. And then the last one is explode. If you see any of these words, that should clue you off to a chemical change or some type of chemical transformation versus a physical one. Okay, I have 4 examples on the sheet for you. The first one is milk sours, and we said the fact that you see this word souring, that's going to be a chemical change. And let's see. B, when you see something burning, that's also going to be a chemical change. And here's that word burn again to denote a chemical change. C, it says ice changes into steam. That is a phase change. Ice is a solid, and you're going to steam, which is a gas. Any phase change is going to be a physical change. D is kind of a tricky one. It says wax melts due to the heat of a flame. You see that word flame in there. Don't think burn automatically because you see flame. The word you need to concentrate on here is melt. And melt is a phase change term. That's going from a solid to a liquid.